Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I read tarot and oracle cards intuitively and sometimes energy. So we have 3 groups for you to choose from today. The theme of today's reading is going to be how are they feeling? So group 1, we have the astro dice of the planets. Group 2, we have the houses, and group 3, we have the zodiacs. So you can take a moment to choose whichever group you feel the most drawn to, and then use the timestamps in the description box to jump ahead when you're ready. And we'll get started with group 1. Welcome group 1. If you chose the Planetary Astro Dice, then this will be your group reading today on how are they feeling or how they feel about you. So when I was first pulling these cards, I heard very strongly like healing balm with the Yarrow card. And it does seem to have like a deeply profound healing aspect, or like a deep potency in its healing, but it also makes me think of like nourishment. But it's also one of those things that I think that this would be something healing in a way that you wouldn't expect it to be. So we also have flax and fern as well. And so I think that how they are feeling is that you could actually be quite like a healing person to them, or your relationship could be quite healing, or something about you do, or the way that you kind of move throughout the world actually has like a high healing quality to it. And flax is really good for skin, but also it's really good for like scars as well. So if you have like a scar, I don't know, I guess it depends how deep the scar is, but if you just have like scars on your skin, taking like flax capsules or flaxseed oil capsules can actually assist with the scars, like, I don't know, fading away, or like the skin healing, so it's not as bad. And so that's not medical advice, but it's just part of like what I'm getting about it is that it could be seen as surface deep, but there's actually something to it where it's kind of like regenerative. I want to say almost on like a cellular level. And it would probably feel, it's the kookaburras again. I feel like every time I do a reading, it's time for the kookaburras. Anyway, I think the thing is about this is that it would actually, you can also use flax, I think, in textiles and things as well. But this, whatever this is, it would just feel really comfortable. I think it would feel good for your body. It would feel good for your nervous system. And I don't know, there's something here where it's like, I grew up in like, I don't know if it's called tropical or subtropical area. And so when you would kind of walk through like a forest area, like it would, there was something about like the humidity in the air and the temperature in the forest was so much different to just being in the residential suburbia type areas. And it was really comforting. And I think there's something there where it's like your body temperature and the humidity is naturally going to assimilate to, I don't know, there's something here where it's like everything will just calm down and feel comfortable, and it will be really good for you. But also it's just like, I don't know, it does something to the brain being in, like, I know that they've done lots of research on it, and I haven't kept up with a lot of this stuff for like years. But I know that there's research that it can like improve mood and everything just by like visually seeing greenery and rainforest and everything. But it's a whole nother thing when you're there. I have heard people say that just being in the forest, there's like a lot of, I don't know if it's essential oils necessarily, but like there's a lot of stuff going on that the plants are like releasing that can actually really affect you like physically in the best possible way. So I don't know, just take from that what resonates and we'll kind of move on. But also there's flowing water here, so it's like not stagnant, it's very clean. And I think it would be like the best type of water, like heaps of minerals or something in it. Like it would be really good, but like super hydrating. It would be like far more hydrating to drink this water than it would just any old tap water. And there obviously wouldn't be the chemicals and whatnot in it as well to kind of treat it to keep it clean. So with that all said, let's move on. This is, how are they feeling about you? So I don't know. I think that they would feel like, obviously there's that deep healing quality where you might heal people in ways that's unexpected. There might be something about you where you have like a very understated beauty, but like it's not really understated. It's just that it might not be that thing that, you know, it's like you're not wearing like a fluoro or a super bright color, but people can see your beauty when they actually look at you, and it's like, it's actually really profound. And there's something like, there is a great beauty, but it's like, it's not out there to just like snatch attention from anyone. It's kind of, I don't know, there's something that you do. Yeah, it's understated, natural kind of beauty. Anyway, that being said, so I think that they would also feel that you're quite resourceful, and that you are really confident. And yeah, there's definitely something here about like being like nourishing. So I don't know if you like make this person meals, or if you live a healthy lifestyle, or if it's just that you're like a supportive person, or you like teach them things or something like that. But yeah, I want to take more cards. I just, before we do, so for some of you, this person, how they feel about you, they may have some sort of mixed or muddled feelings where they're not really sure whether you are kind of like the snake in the grass, or like the challenging Kundalini rising kind of, you know, integrated sort of, I don't know, like a balanced energy. I think they are having a hard time seeing between the two. So it's like, how they feel? Are they feeling like there's two sides? No. Okay, so they just can't tell sort of which one you are, or maybe in different environments they've sort of seen both play out, or maybe, yeah, I don't know. This person could be a little bit like nervous about you, or vice versa, where like you might be a bit nervous about them, but they're like more nervous than you are, something like that. You know, in Australia, we have like snakes everywhere. I don't want that to sound like over dramatic. Like, they're obviously not just everywhere, but I've lived here my whole life and I've come across many. Anyway, but I also lived on the back of bushland for a long time, or swampy kind of areas as well. Anyway, so we've seen lots of them. But snakes, they are more scared of you than you are of them. So hopefully that kind of says something to like how this person may feel about you, that they could definitely be more scared of you than you are of them. Yeah, but there's something, I think that they feel that you're like resourceful. It's definitely that understated beauty is coming through again. Okay, so I think that there's also something about you that they can see transcends. You like kind of transcend everyday life. You could inspire this person to live like a healthy, cleaner, maybe potentially more eco-friendly life or something. I'm not sure. That might not resonate for everyone. I get it. But there's something about you that you make this person want to be a better person. Yeah. I think they just look at you and they're like, they just see everything that you are, and they know that the bar is set high, but it's also really beautiful and it is quite grounded. And it would just feel so good to be with you, or when they're around you, it feels so good. And I think sometimes things are like a little bit unsettling, and I can't tell if it's like unsettling for them, because this is how they feel about you. So you could be going through a time that's quite unsettling, and so they feel really calm in your presence, but like maybe they can tell that you are dealing with a lot, but like they're seeing, I don't want to like glamorize or glorify going through hard times, but I think that they're seeing like this long-term development of like your character over time, where they're seeing the way that you just naturally kind of are, and you make the absolute most of what you have with what you have. But it's like feeding your soul in some way. And I think that they would be hesitant to say that to you, because it's like they can see how much it's like you're just already this like really beautiful person, but there's like even more beauty here, because they see the way that you're dealing with things or something like that, or they see the way that you are so grounded and you don't let it rock your foundation, even if at times it is kind of scary or unsettling. There's like, it's just crazy. I can't even tell you. It's like you are your own little ecosystem. So I would say how this person feels about you is like, you could be kind of, I don't know, it's weird. I want to say that you could be like independent to a degree. It's like you're self-governed, but at the same time, it's like you create your own ecosystem. So I feel like you're probably not a person that's just going to go along with the crowd. You're very much like doing your own thing, and out of whatever it is that you do, this whole little world or the life that you're building, that kind of evolves around that, or like begins to spread out. It's like the way that you live, with the meaning and the purpose and the way that you do things and show up and everything that you are, even though it might only start with you, it like, you could be people that create communities, or this could be the way that this person feels about you. It's like you're a vital part of a community or something like that. There's something here where it's like, without you, it would not be half of what it is. And that, even if you don't resonate with that, this is how this person feels about you, okay? But I feel like they also kind of have a sense that you would be like prolific in most environments that you're in. So like you would be quite adaptable, resourceful. You could do well almost most places that you were put. But I think they see you handle the storms with grace. Yeah. Okay, so how are they feeling about you? So they definitely feel like you're beautiful. Something about you, I wanted to say earthly and unearthly, so take what resonates there, but definitely transcendent, very grounded, just very giving. Like you would be the person, I think you like grow things around you, or you pour into the things. It's like, I kind of get the analogy of like the elixir of life, or like the fountain of youth or something like that. It's like you are ever pouring into something and bringing everything kind of to like this growth and prosperity. And yeah, it's like you just nourish everything around you. Whatever you pour into, it grows. And so I think, that if you have a close relationship with this person, and it is highly likely that you have like poured into them, they very much feel the strong effects of this. And I think they have quite a lot of gratitude. And even if you don't have a close relationship with this person, it is kind of in the distance, I think that they can tell, everything around you grows. It's kind of like Persephone type energy, not necessarily as in the going away. It could be kind of representative of that, but more that everywhere you go, flowers grow kind of thing. Yeah, okay. We need more cards than this. And so I feel like there's something the energy's starting to shift, and it's starting to kind of pick up a little bit more now. I'm starting to get, I don't know, it's good. Yeah, okay. So what else do we have? Another card. All right. You could, how you make this person feel, they could feel tempted by you. They may want to explore with you, or something about you, or you. I think that they know that there's something between the two of you that's not quite aligning or aligned in the way that you live your lives, and because of that, it really I don't know, they want it to be different. And I think they wonder of like the ways in which they could probably like be closer to, or I don't know, I wonder if this person I don't know why. I think they probably see you as a person that people are competing for, or that you're like a strong contender in some arena. So even if, yeah, I don't know. I obviously have people in this group that there are some people that this would be like a romantic interest or a, you know, sort of closer relationship. Whereas others of you, there's that a strong interest is still there, but it's like not as close. And so some of them see you, I think they want a way in, and it kind of, it upsets them. It like, it stresses them out, or is almost gives them like a depression, puts them in a state of depression or something like that, where they like don't know how to kind of come together with you or find, it's like they're trying to, I think you're inspiring this person in getting aligned with themselves, like discovering themselves, like, well, that's the beauty in this person and it's so different and understated, and these are all the things. It's like a conscious, aware state of mind where they're like realizing all these things about you. And it's kind of like a, in a sense, it's like you're awakening them, your presence inspires them to kind of look at themselves in a way. And I think it might not really feel like that for them, like it is this just kind of like calm looking at themselves. I feel some of them could be a little bit defensive. They could feel like some of the things that they've had to really fight for in their lives has really, I think they've just had to fight very hard. And so for them to kind of compare themselves, or, you know, ask the questions of like whether you guys align or not, they're looking at this like beautiful, calm, grounded, nourishing landscape, and then they're looking at themselves like a survivor who has just had to, like, I don't know, claw their way out of like a dark tunnel or something. Like they've had to really fight for things, just like the basics or necessities, or like sovereignty or something like that, where it is like, it does take them on a trip back to maybe like things that they've had to go through, but it is a part of sparking this person's ultimate like journey of self-love, because they're understanding that whatever has gone on here is either not the same, or things are being handled differently, or like it's still eliciting something in themselves that there's just still a lot of pain there. There's like a lot of mental anguish. I think they could deal with a lot of anxiety, and they're not sure. They're definitely not sure of like the next moves to make. And I think they're trying to be strategic. It's not really strategic. I think they're trying to weigh up what are the things in their life that mean the most to them. You're like a really good example of like a true virtue or a true value, something in their life that they actually really want to prioritize. And so, yeah, how are they feeling about you? They're like, I think they're getting a lot of feelings. And the more I talk about this, I'm starting to get more emotion in my heart space. I also think that you are kind of the soft energy, that the grounded soft energy. You make this person feel safe and comfortable enough, and they know that you're authentic and like everything about you is quite natural, or something like that, where it begins to make them feel like they can open up their heart space. And I don't know if all of them would be so consciously aware. I think that they could acknowledge it even if they didn't realize at the start that this was happening. It's like, in essence, how they're feeling about you is that you are opening up their heart space. You are allowing their walls to drop and calm down, even though they realize that they may still be in some sort of defensive stance from, you know, all the people they've had to deal with before that kind of put them there, or something like that. And this person has learned to not not approach life on the back foot anymore. They're very much ready at any given moment to always like, you know, rise to the occasion if someone's going to try to stamp them out. I feel like they've really had to fight for sovereignty or something. I don't know if it's not sovereignty. It's like they've had to fight for some sort of like basic, I don't know, is it survival or it's like a livelihood? So it's like they kind of were forced to compete to fight for their livelihood, something like that. For others of you, that whole first part was definitely like how they feel about you, but this second part may not be the things that you're necessarily sparking inside of them, but also something more to how they could feel about you. Like they feel like you've actually had to go through a lot of this stuff yourself, and so that could be something that deeply resonates. Or I think there is some sort of like spiritual lesson here for this person, even if you or your person do not necessarily identify with like, you know, being spiritual in essence. So I'm just gonna take, oh yeah, we've got the mom card here. So there's definitely a love. For some of you, this could be a mother or family or something. But yeah, this person definitely could have felt like they had to be stronger than they wanted to be. Yeah, and the gardener, like you're literally watering everything around you and taking care of things, or they feel like you have the ability to really bring things back to life, or you like just a really nurturing presence. You really, how cool is that we got the gardener card after all that? Okay, so, and, you know, like we have Leo and fire signs here, but I also feel like Taurus could potentially come through in this group as well. Okay, I want to take another card. Let's go another one of these. Yeah. I think I did say that you could potentially tempt this person or make them feel tempted if they're, and it might not be directly romantically. It could be like they see you living a type of way, so they feel tempted to kind of like lean into what it is that you lean into. But I very much get, for those of you, that there is like that romantic interest here, that it is very, if not mutual, it's at least, you know, on their side, they definitely feel tempted at times. And I think sometimes they recognize that you are kind of an unknown, like, I don't know, person, or that there's something about you that's unknown that they might not understand. And I think that they could potentially get you confused. So it's like they know that you're the healing balm, but they might not understand in the ways in which you're kind of going to be helpfully healing them. So like, for example, they may see these little berries on this plant and they might think that they can eat them, but really that's like part of what they would do. Use to like mix with something else to make like a healing balm or paste or something like that. So, you know, they may think that they need to sit down with you and have like, you know, an almost like a big, deep and meaningful conversation, but really all they have to do is actually watch the way you live and just sort of maintain a nice relationship with you. And over time, they will probably not be quite aware to the full extent, but just being in your presence and maintaining a long-term relationship with you would be really like healing for them. So, but I think they can kind of tell they're not really sure. I don't know. I mean, we were getting that thing before of like, they almost weren't sure if like you were kind of a snake in the grass or like that healing Kundalini energy, that they might have to rise to the occasion and be met with challenges. And so I think for some of you, it's like, that when they're faced with adversity and challenges, it's very hard for them to tell whether the challenging energy is like necessarily character building versus like, are you out to get me? So it's not really a reflection of you. That part of how they are feeling is more something within themselves, but they recognize that. I do get the sense that this person seems self-aware to their own demise or about their own demise or something like that. Like they know themselves well. I feel like they know themselves well, even if it's only really strongly in certain areas. I think, yeah. Okay. I think this person has good instincts. And so, but they've probably had to rely on it so much. And like we had that talk about what the journey had been like for them earlier, dealing with people that maybe put them in an energy where they needed to like really fight for things or something like that. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So yeah, I look at the taco and it just kind of reiterates a lot of stuff. Like you would be like very healthy. I don't know. I know that like tacos not everywhere are healthy. Like if you're just eating like a generic kind of like takeaway taco, it might not be the best, but like, I don't know, for me, tacos are life, right? So they might actually, they might feel the same about you, or they might see you. I don't know. It's like, they just see you as someone that you can go the distance with, and they see you as someone that like has that potential for like that strong long-term relationship with that. Yeah. Okay. But I want to say, right, like I also kind of get that thing. They're like, if they sat there and weighed up all the pros and cons, they'd be like, well, you know, in reference of like the taco, they'd be like, it's healthy, it tastes good, like they're not too expensive to make, not a great deal of like prep involved, like it kind of ticks all the boxes for them. Not saying that those characteristics are in comparison to you at all by any means, but like if they had to sit there and look at like all the things that they would want in a person in life, they'd be like, yep, this person just on every, and I think that you sort of show them things. It's like they didn't think that like all these good things could coexist in one person. So not only are you showing them that they can, but it's like you kind of meet your match. It's like, or this person, that's how they feel about you. Like they have met their match. There's something about you in which maybe for someone else, tacos aren't their like thing, right? And so that's, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, maybe not for everyone, but for this person, you could be everything. So yeah. I was also getting a reference to snails. So it's like good skin, and very graceful, but I think we kind of mentioned that earlier as well. Okay, that's actually everything for your group one on what I have for how they are feeling about you. So hopefully this resonated for you. If it did, definitely subscribe to the channel or like the video, and I'll see you all in another reading. Bye. Okay, welcome group one. If you chose the house astro dice, then this will be your reading on how they feel about you. So it does, we definitely have a bit of a match here between the first card and the number that was on the astro dice, so like 1010. So there definitely could be that like closing out a cycle, coming to completion kind of thing, and it definitely could have been a heavy or burdensome type of cycle. You could have just had a lot of responsibilities or something like that, or I don't know. You just might have been up against a lot, but it seems to be dipping into a state of like harmony in a sense. And I think this person sees you as quite strong. Like you could be a leader or a contender in something that they put on a pedestal. I think sometimes I wonder if like, so this is how they feel about you. Some of them could feel like you are hard work, but I actually feel for others of you, it's like you inspire this person to do the hard work, whereas others of you, they just see this like harmonious, like beautiful kind of leader that like is very unique and stands apart, but you're quite strong and vulnerable at the same time. And the vulnerability is your strength. And it's like, you would just probably like get along with a lot of people, or you're quite a kind person or something, and then they don't actually, there's something here where there's like maybe not quite an acknowledgement of like the Ten of Wands, or I don't know, like how they feel about you. It could be like a high maintenance thing. They may feel that you're like kind of high maintenance, or to like maintain what it is that you do takes a lot of work. Or like in terms of, I don't know, I want to say transmuting it, but I don't think that's it. Okay. So I think they look at you, and they look at you being kind of like a milestone, or like an idol, or a role model, like something that they aspire to. There's something about you that they aspire to for sure. And so I don't think they realize, they don't realize like what it takes, or they don't, how are they feeling? I think they know it's hard work. They feel like you've had to work hard, but they just, that understanding, I don't know. It's weird because I feel like they've already kind of had to carry their own load and whatnot, but it's like they could just be so focused on one area that they kind of miss the point on, or they don't see the holistic picture or something like that. I want to take more cards. I think they feel like you're quite graceful, you're quite strong, but there was like a quiet confidence, and that leading with vulnerability or something. It's like a soft strength. Yeah, definitely like an energy of being kind. For some of you, I don't know if this will resonate for everyone, so just leave it if it doesn't, but they could feel like you give them a headache, or you cause headaches, or I don't know, it's a bit of a weird energy, because I think they see all the good things that you are, but they like, I don't know, maybe you kind of upset the apple cart. Like this person does have the potential to be like potentially a little bit like manipulative, or I don't know, opportunistic or something like that, like kind of optimizing on capitalizing on a situation. I don't know. So we do have the fire signs here, like we have Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. I don't get a strong Aries energy, but I mean, take what resonates. We also have Aquarius. Seriously, I just want one card. Okay, there we go. We got two. So the Sun and the Influencer. Okay, so you guys could be quite like an influential person in your community, or you could actually be like a content creator in some way, or just, I don't know, some sort of social media influencer. And I think that that's one of the things that it's like you're actually, we did say something about a strong contender. The thing is about this person is that I feel like they really like you, or they really like what you do, or there's like a strong interest, or you would like to give them some type of like happiness, or like, I don't know, there's like a benchmark that you set. They like the way that you do everything, and they want to be like you. But then I feel like there's something about it where, man, I don't know. Maybe this person, maybe you are not the influencer. Like at this rate, you both could be right. But I feel like this person would kind of go to the depths of selling their soul to reach that, whereas you, it's like very much on your like, your part of your like achieving your North Node, your North Star, your true North, your North Home, or whatever that is. They kind of all mean the same, right? But I always get it come through in a couple different ways when I talk about it. So like your purpose, like your life purpose. So for you, it's like you might actually get a lot of joy out of this, and it is like how you serve humanity in a way, on a collective level. And what you do could be really different and really nourishing, and it might not really look like you're doing anything other than kind of like playing around or something. But I think that they can tell that there's that quiet confidence and that kind of strength leading through the vulnerability and softness here. But you're able to keep parts of yourself in check that I think they recognize in them would basically take over or be hard to kind of, I don't know, it's like they find parts of themselves hard to control. It's like they want to control everything externally, but they're not really paying attention to themselves, or they struggle with controlling certain aspects of themselves or something like that. And the thing is too, I'm like almost seeing the Temperance card in my mind. So definitely Sagittarius energy there, where it's like this person is probably actually quite well integrated in terms of like their shadow. And we already talked about like balance and harmony and everything. But it also could be like, just because they're integrated and comfortable in living within their shadow and kind of showing up as like a full person, there's a true divinity to that. They realize that there are aspects to them that are kind of let go awry. Like they have a hard time reining it in, I would say. Okay. Now that we've said that, I'm just going to take some more cards. So I think that their feelings could get the better of them, or some sort of competitive nature or something like that could get the better of them if it came down to it. So we have Cancer here as well. The Sun. There's lots here about like partnership stuff, and it's not just like, I feel like they really love you or like you or something like that. Would be, they know that they have like good times with you. They know that everything's pretty like out in the open and honest, and it's like, I don't know, like there would be lots of good things to be gained from this connection. And they may feel deeply close to you, and you may teach them self-love through kind of just being who you are. And I think they know, I don't know, it's like it has a deep connection kind of energy to it. But there's something here, how they feel about you. I don't know if you have like held boundary with this person, if you have been direct or kind of like you have not sugar-coated something, like you have just cut through like the BS in a conversation and gone straight to the point, or if you have like cut this person off, or if you have just been I'm just getting like calling a spade or something like that. But this person in their mind, how they feel about you is that it kind of comes from some sort of like it's out of balance. Like they're not seeing it for what it is. They're not really seeing the truth and the clarity of the situation. They're not seeing that you have risen above any sort of cloudiness. I don't think that they understand that in essence you guys are at different levels to some degree, and that what they think they are seeing that is the same is actually not the same. Like I don't think that they have that awareness of themselves, that the lens in which they are seeing the situation or you from is actually super clouded. They don't, and that's the thing. It's like they're not aware, they're not self-aware, and they're kind of projecting that onto you because it's like not making sense to them, because they're not taking a stock check of reality within themselves. I think they did really like how they feel about you, like they really prize you or your relationship or like all the good things that you have to bring to the world. They like what you do, they like how you do it, they like a lot of your qualities, but I don't know if they don't want to take accountability or if they just have a hard time having an honest look at themselves. Yeah. Okay, what else do we have here? And I think this would definitely, like 10th house, right? The MC. So this could definitely be to do with like your job, like a career, your public reputation, how you sort of show up in the world, how other people see you, all of that. So they definitely could see you as a person who like has like an extended social network or the availability to reach a lot of people, you know, on whatever level that it is that you do. Like you could, I don't know. Okay, one more card. Yeah. I think they love all this stuff about you, but they have a hard time seeing the truth of like your intentions or why you do things the way you do or something like that. Like it's kind of skewed. And in reality, you're just taking your time to like build something really practical and just putting in the time and the work that you need to. I think it's really grounded. It's like for you, I kind of get the sense that the purpose of this is to build something solid, or something that lasts a long time, or something that is really grounding, or I don't know, like you're giving back. I really feel like for a lot of you, what you're doing is like a type of community service, and I can't tell if that's the way that this person actually sees you, because there could be a duality to the way that they see you within their own mind, where it's kind of fragmented. And I do feel like that is the case with what we were saying before, of like they see all these good things you do, and they see like, you know, how other people see you, and there's all these qualities about you that they like, but then they just feel like there's something about your intentions or some sort of truth that isn't really forthcoming, or they feel like you've been out of balance or been harsh or something like that, but they're just really not self-aware to how something's played out in a situation. For some of you, they could, if you are like a content creator or something like that, you literally could just be putting out work to, you know, an audience of people, and it's not personal at all, and they're kind of like seeing it, like they're kind of feeling the sharpness. So like I said, there could be that directness and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like there could be things that you say, it's, I don't know, and you like embody this kind of dual like energy where it's like you are really beautiful, and they can tell that you're really supportive and nurturing, but then like when you really need to like call something out, or you like, I don't know, they were saying calling a spade, but it's like these people are like, they just want to stay in this Two of Cups energy. They don't really want to have to acknowledge the truth or something like that. And so it's like they see, it's like instead of looking at why does the truth or whatever the situation is, even if it's just a friendship, not like a, you know, influencer sort of thing, where they're like, instead of looking at themselves and realizing this doesn't make me feel good when they say this, but what they're saying is true, and it's like not actually coming from a bad place, like they're not actually trying to cut me down, or I don't know, there's something here where it's like that's how they actually feel, but they're not looking at they're not taking responsibility for their reaction, or they're not, even if it's not taking responsibility, they don't have that awareness for like their part in whatever's playing out. Like maybe I had a big emotional reaction to this because there's something here that strikes a chord with me that like, you know, it doesn't feel comfortable, and I've had issues with that in the past, and maybe that's something I need to look at developing within myself, or like, I don't really know what it is, and I can't answer. There's going to be too many situations that are different here. But it's just an example of how that could play out. But it's also that thing where if they do lack that self-awareness and they kind of project onto other people, or, you know, they understand the way that they operate within the world. And we did talk about if they had the chance to do what you do or to be like you, they would almost like sell their soul in some sense to kind of achieve it, or to reach some type of achievement, or to garner the same type of like reputation or career or something like that as what you do, even if it is just like being a person that has like a reputation of being humanitarian or a very kind person in the community. They would love to be seen as that. And I think that they're kind of, I don't know, we'll move on. But I think you kind of, I don't know, you get the gist of it. It's like, I think there are times where they are more grounded, where they can really see what you do for what it is, but it comes and goes, and it's not very often. And I think that how they feel about you. They could feel like you definitely have a type of wisdom, or that you like have your periods where you go into hermitude or something like that, where they are not welcome. But they could also, I don't know, what is this? Oh yeah, I was waiting to see if we would have Libra come out. I was actually kind of feeling, because we had, Libra, October, 10th month. So we've got like September and October. So we've got, I think we already said fire signs. We've got Aquarius. We've got Virgo, Libra. So mutable signs could be here as well. I don't know. Okay, what else do we have? We had Cancer. I think they just see a fine line between what you do as being like very skilled and very honest, and something that comes from like a wisdom because you have like taken the time to get to know yourself or your situation. But there's something to it where they see it as like walking a tightrope. There's something about it where they see like they may feel like you nip and tuck yourself in every which way to be able to sort of achieve that, when in reality you're just making your way. But also they could feel like you, what is it? Let's do this. You could just believe in like a otherworldly or worldly type of restoring of the balance of the world or something. I'm not sure. There's something really weird that I'm getting where it's like they want justice for you, but they want it to work in their favor. So it's like they want something good for you so that it can have like a positive flow and effect for them. So take that with what it means, like, you know, if it resonates. I do think they see that there is something to what you do that is kind of tricky. We did touch on that before, and they just might not understand. So at least we're getting that, like, you know, the confirming messages coming through, so we know that we're on the right track. Okay, do we want to take another card? Okay, how they feel. Is there anything that we need to clear up about how they feel about group 2, or how group 2's person feels about them? No, they're kind of telling me that that's it, that's everything. So look, group 2, hopefully this made sense for you and resonated. If it did, definitely subscribe or give the video a like, and I'll see you all in another reading. Take care of yourselves. Okay, welcome group 3. If this is the reading that you chose with the Zodiac Astro Dice, then this will be your reading on how they feel about you. So this person they could feel like there's something quite superficial about you. And like you're just like spilling the tea to be like a dampener on other people's lives or something like that. Like your goal is literally to put out another person's shine, or to kind of inhibit something that they're trying to grow, even if it is like the cultivation for their own self-love. But they don't realize that, I don't know, this could be like a little bit of a mirrored energy here. So I am kind of getting the sense here that this person is a person that would literally spill the tea just to be the dampener on someone else's, like, do you know what it gives me? It gives me like they've learnt spirituality, or they've learnt some type of like therapy speak or something like that, whatever it is. And they're kind of weaponizing it, where it's like when you do it, it might be a little bit blunt, or it might be a little bit hard hitting, some of the things that come through. And so this could obviously be a group that any readers would come through in, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You could just be a bit intuitive. You don't also have to be intuitive. You could just be a person that is trying to have like a healing conversation with a friend to kind of unpack something or work something out. And so when you do it, or when this person, I don't know. Okay, so we with the first person, this is all right, you could be on either side of this. I'm not going to say person A, person B. I'm going to talk as if you are my higher vibrational collective here coming through in group 3. But you could be on the opposite end of this, and this is something for you to kind of lean into and work into your own intuition with. You will understand your situation better than anybody else, and it is your responsibility to exercise discernment within your life. If this reading does not resonate for you, there are other groups that you can choose from, or I may not be the reader for you. Okay, so it's like when you are assisting someone in some way, it may come off hard-hitting or a little bit harsh, or they may feel like you are kind of putting a dampener on a situation or something that's really good for them, when reality it's like you are telling the truth that is in essence like of healing nature. And if they realize that, even though it might hurt in the moment, it will actually become part of the catalyst that will be like fertility to their prosperity in the future. It will kind of catapult them into like a deeper growth or a more prosperous growth or something later on. And so I think what happens is that this person sees you do this and then they try to emanate it. So they're kind of like, well, group 3 spills the tea and all they're doing is out to kind of hurt people and put a dampener on everyone's day, or they like want to stop other people kind of, reaching the level that they sit at or something like that, as if it's in efforts to kind of keep other people down or keep them in their place or something. When in reality, it's like telling the truth or getting to the heart of a situation so that everybody can grow. And it really is, I don't know. It's like I almost get like a baby out with the bathwater kind of energy or something like that. But then it's like they've learned from you. So this person, they could have been like a student-teacher dynamic, or you could be a person that like we literally have the Zoom meeting and the influencer and the star here and the Empress. So Queen of Cups, so intuitive person as well. So let's say the example is that you are a reader and they feel like you could be doing it for all these like other reasons, and then they may have learnt from watching your videos, or they may have learnt from talking to you or being in your circle. Even if they didn't, even if they literally were like looking things up online, this does give me a group that like this would be based around the spiritual intuitive stuff. And if it's not around that, like I said, you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be being a reader for someone. It could just be in a friendship, having that like kind of getting to the heart of a situation conversation, like in therapy and everything. But it's like this person has watched how you've done it and they're really sharp, and they've then kind of flipped it on its head, and they are now weaponizing it and using it as like loopholes and justifications in how they kind of emulate the same energy, or what is it, like reflecting it back to you. But it's like it's not about the truth of it. It's not about the heart of it. It's not actually for a solution. It's kind of more of an excuse for them to literally like get away with some sort of poor behavior that they don't want to be accountable for, or just so that they can kind of like be the dampener on others or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like, what is it? I don't know if this person knows that there could be like stuff going on in your life that is not great, and they just see you as being absolutely impenetrable, having the ability to continue to like move through or work through whatever it is. And they think there's something really shallow to it, where it's more about like how you come off, but really it's just like, I don't know, like something that you just do to kind of, I don't know, because you have to, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think they see it as like a preservation type of thing, how they feel about you. And so they could see like people lusting after you, or they could see people, you just garnering like quite a lot of attention or leading the way in something. We literally have the influencer card here, so it could be like being influential even if they don't really feel strongly kind of in resonance with whatever it is that you do. Like they may not really value it highly themselves, but they see how much other people do, and because of that, that's when they want to put the dampener on it. But I think like perseverance, yeah, the reality is that you are just persevering and you are just like doing everything you can to, I think you're just a well-rounded person. And I do think the thing is they can see this stuff about you, but it's like they choose to kind of ignore or justify other stuff. So it is quite manipulative in nature and how they go about it. And we did have the Sun card in reverse here as well. So I feel like this person wants to kind of deny the things that people see about you. Like they want to taint the way that you are perceived, or they want to come in and kind of act like they are illuminating the truth of a situation, that it's kind of out in, you know, unbalanced or something like that. But really this person is just kind of seething behind the scenes. So they're, you know, the things that this person could be feeling about you, they could be jealous, they could be envious, they could be in comparison, they could feel hurt by you. So even if they don't feel those other things, there could be something here where they kind of feel a little bit like rejected or in their feelings, or kind of consumed by something that you trigger some sort of emotion that wells up in them and it feels all consuming or something like that. This person, they could feel in comparison to like they are too sensitive or too emotional, or like they can't control their emotions, like they're not grounded enough or something. It's like they see you doing these great things and they like can't help themselves, but just almost, it's like they're angry out of like emotional volatility, because they're confused as to why they can't do this, and they think you can't. Like, and it's weird because sometimes I think that they really can see how genuine you are, and then they try to justify it as though you're not. But I feel like there are times where like they really can't see how genuine you are, because of like they're just overcome by whatever these feelings are, this like emotional roller coaster that they're kind of on. Yeah, and I don't know. I think what spirit would say is, despite how this person feels about you, to just like keep on keeping on kind of thing. Like you're doing brilliant work, you're living in alignment, you're doing all the things that you're meant to do. It is very healing and helpful. There is something about you being on the path that you're on that is filled with great purpose, like it is your path and you are meant to be doing it. So even if this person is kind of trying to like, you know, dampen whatever it is that you're doing or trying to put it out, I almost get the essence of this person wanting to put your fire out, or they could feel like this could be something of like how they feel about you, like you're trying to put their fire out. And I did talk about that kind of duality and a little bit of mirroring there, but it's like the thing is, when it comes from you, it's like really well intended, but when it comes from them, it's like manipulative, or it has like an undertone of coming from like an emotional overwhelm or being consumed by these feelings. Like I get the essence of like these feelings are big feelings, like they kind of take over this person when this happens. So yeah, but I don't know, I'll let you kind of work out, you know what resonates for you, whether this does or not. So yeah, I just think they see you as being like, how they feel about you is like you're revered by other people, and you are really beautiful and well-rounded, and you are very much on your path in alignment. You probably garner attention because of it, even if you don't mean to. They probably feel like there's something here about the way you present that is not authentic, or they want to kind of twist the way that you are seen in the world. But I feel like a lot of this has to do with communication. So it's like, maybe the way that you communicate is probably the main thing. Like I said, there was like that kind of weaponized, like potentially therapy speak or spiritual speak, or getting to the heart of a matter, even if it is just having a supportive conversation with a friend to try to work something out or process something. So, and you know, the more I talk about this, I can feel my heart center is open, but it does feel a bit painful. So I can see here of how this could be painful for both of you. Or at least this person, that's how they feel about you, is that you definitely cause some sort of heartache. They could feel, what's the word, dejected? I don't know if that's right. They at least feel some type of pain or hurt from this situation. So I want to take more cards. Yeah, they can't see straight. I feel like I'll leave that there because that's what it's relative to. They can't see straight. They feel kind of trapped, or they have like some sort of narrative swirling around in their head where they're ruminating and they can't really see past it. There seems to be like an anxiety here as well. So like, I wonder if for some of them, they're kind of scared about the things that you say kind of highlight something about themselves, and it makes them feel stuck, like they can't really move forward, or they can't exit out of this energy, or it's like they don't realize that when they try to put this dampener or be manipulative, put this dampener on other people or be manipulative or kind of, I don't know, spill the tea in whatever this way is, they don't realize that when they do that, that they're kind of hurting their inner child or something. Like they're kind of keeping themselves confined to some type of like judgmental prison. So it's like when you be judgmental to other people, you are being, in essence, judgmental to yourself, and you just may not be consciously aware of it, because it's like you're holding people, I don't know, what am I trying to say? It's like this person being judgmental towards others could make themselves feel like they can't be themselves, okay? Anyway, so I think that what they see is there'll be some sort of, I'm getting in essence like a strike of fortune or luck changing, coming in quickly or something like that. And there's that kind of like quiet confidence or the ability to tame the beast. Or so you may have, what is it when you have good control over yourself? Like you could be quite composed, you could be quite graceful. There's that quiet strength, and then I think they just see some sort of situation flipping on its head, or that you flipped a situation on its head, and that's kind of how they feel about you, is that you were really composed and graceful throughout whatever that was. Which kind of just like, to me, further illuminated this whole situation. Like it just kind of was reaffirming, you know, all the things that had already happened. But I think they just look at it as like a potential new kind of obstacle coming in that they have to like overcome or whatever. But really, you're just on your way. You're just on your own journey, not really bothered by them. So here we actually have the fire signs. We do have the water signs, and we have Virgo as well. So fire signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and Virgo. So that. I'm going to take an archetype card. I feel like this person, so how they feel is like you could definitely be trying to present yourself in a way that's attractive to other people, or almost augmenting yourself or your appearance, or like you're doing it for to not be authentic, like you're almost putting on a show or something like that. And that's, I don't know, it's like you're making yourself out to be something that you're not, but like the reality is that you just are how you are. And like, if that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it looks like. Doesn't mean it is. Like, do you know what I see? I'm going to show you. I feel like there's like a really happy skeleton here, and they're wearing a dress. And this person's going to be like, look, they're trying to be something that they're not. They're like trying to be a princess or a star or something, but like in reality you're just a skeleton wearing a dress, and like you're just having fun, or it's just like, I don't know, that it's such a weird like thing to kind of say, but like that's what I get. It's like, you know, you're a skeleton, like you know all these things about yourself or something like that, and this person is just trying to like demonize it, or like say it's like play pretend or something, but it's like not play pretend. It's just, it's also not your fault if other people put you on a pedestal and this person doesn't like it, okay? So that's also something, that's also, you know, how they may feel about you, is that maybe they feel like you're doing these things to be put on a pedestal, as opposed to just seeing the fact that like other people put you on a pedestal and you can't help what other people, how other people feel about you or think about you or perceive you. Okay, so they do feel like you're extremely attractive. I do feel like They also could be, they could be confused about whether you are potentially dangerous or trying to draw people in for the wrong reasons. They do feel like there is an inescapable quality or beauty to you that is extremely attractive or desirable in some way. There's something about you that's very unique or mysterious. I do think that they see you on your path trying to find something that is kind of leading you out of the dark, but they just, I don't think they want to acknowledge that. I think for some of you, what you do could literally just be like literally pulling yourselves out of the dark night of a soul. You could just be like finding happiness in your light or finding the things that like light you up. And so it's like you're looking for these things, but this person is kind of projecting onto you to being a person who's like doing things. Maybe they see you doing these things, but they don't realize that it like might be coming from a place of transmuting like a depression to finding something that's really meaningful or gives you joy. And they might just see it as being quite superficial, like this person's just like being opportunistic or something. Anyway, enough of that. So this person, they could be your father or a father of your child or something like that. But they could also see you as in having like quite a balanced, strong, masculine energy or essence to you. And so it's like, I think that they just see that you like do things, you take action on things, like you're not, they may realize there's like strong feminine and masculine energies here, and it does have you in alignment, it does have you being balanced. And I think it could be quite the contrast that they are really unsure how to interpret because they don't understand that, because they don't embody that themselves. And so, yeah, how they feel about you is that you are quite balanced and they just don't know how you do it. Or it's like they think you're trying to be one way or present one way, but really you're another way. But it's like, no, I'm just an integrated whole person. So a bit of mirroring there again, because I do feel like they are quite an integrated person who's quite accepting of their shadow, but like, you know, I guess it's different to be balanced and feminine and masculine versus to just like be accepting of just light or just dark or something. But they also, I don't know how they feel about you. I feel like they know you're special. They know you're special and they're just trying to demonize it, okay? So this person could definitely, not only do they exhibit their own type of duality, but I think they try to project that duality onto other people, okay? So that's how they feel about you. Yeah, a lot of mirroring here. I think there's something here about like your fertility. It's like you have a potent level, like potential for growth or something here, or like there's a type of like potent attractiveness about you, something, yeah. Okay, we're going to take one more card. This is the last one. I do feel like that's the bulk of the message for most of you. So I'm just going to take one more card. And I was getting that it will be like the healing balm card for this group. And we have garlic. So for some of you, garlic could be helpful. It could be purifying. It could be cleansing. It could be like the bitter, pungent kind of herbal tincture that you need that may assist in kind of any nasties in the gastrointestinal. But I am not a doctor. I am not trained. You should always get your own medical advice. If that just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. This is just part of the message. Anything that I say in these readings should never substitute for like an alternative health care. You always seek appropriate health care for yourselves. Okay, group 3, that's everything that I have for yourselves. Hopefully that is helpful. That could also be actually, I know I've tried to wrap that up a couple of times, but I was just getting off the back end of that's something that this person could feel about you. They could feel like you're quite bitter. They could feel like there's something about you where they like know that you're good for them, but they like really don't like the way you make them feel, okay? All right, that's it. Take care, group 3. If this resonated, definitely subscribe to the channel if you're not, or like the video, and I'll see you all in another one. Take care.